Hi guys, this is Jaya for the session of digitalization. Today we are going to talk about the impact of the digitalization on the business life as well as with the scenarios and the importance and with the interesting case study relating with the digitalization. First we deal with the scenario where there are two friends in the name of Bob and David who are doing business in a in a tools and business where Uh, one is Bob, who's earning less, and second, David, who's earning more. So, what is the reason behind why Bob is earning less and why David is earning more? So, the reason is that the David is using the digitalization method. So, when he using this digitalization method, he's taking all the documents in an online platform. He's taking all the bookings in an online platform, giving approvals, booking the accommodation for the customers, and giving the services on an online platform where the customers are really happy and they are getting their services instantly and getting their resolutions resolved. So, this is how he is earning more and he's getting more and more business back to back. Here, Bob is doing in a traditional way where he's struggling to get his business done because he's doing in all the paperwork, he's having a lot of manpower doing it, and it is a lot of time consuming. So the customers are nowadays, the customer doesn't wait for such a time to get their services done because every person wants their services to be instant. So this is how when Bob is struggling to doing his business through traditional way in a tours business where everything should be an online and the customer should be happy with the service. But he is doing in a traditional way and he's just struggling and he cannot earn more and more business from the customer because the customer is not happy with the way he's serving the customers. So that is the reason when we come to know about the digitalization have a very good impact where everything is done in online, whether we talk about the booking, whether we talk about the service, whether we are talking about the complaints which is being resolved online. So these things comprises the digitalization and which have a more important impact for the growth of a business. So this is how the digitalization is really important when you are running a business on an online platform. But in a traditional way, these advantages are not there because you have to run from one end to the other to get your things meet, your services to be meet. So that's the reason why Bob is earning less and David is earning more. So now we'll understand what is the difference between these two methods. So if we talk about the difference between the digital method is it is a less time consumer, then it's a low costing, faster processing, and the risk of a less errors. Whereas in traditional method, there is lot of manpower is used, more time consumption, very slow processing, and the risk of errors is very high in that particular method. But when we go through this digitalization method, it becomes really easy to make the things work, to grow the business work. So this is how where digitalization play a very vital role in an online platform. So when we discuss about what is, so this is how we understand what is the difference between the traditional and the digitalization method. Now we'll come about what is digitalization. What do we understand with this word? So we understand with this word is that it is comprises of four things. First is the technology, second is the process, third is the data, and fourth is the organizational change. So when we come about in a technology part, so technology, if we have nowadays many people uses apps where the technology plays a very important part where you get through many things, you get a good interface, you get a good services through this app. You get to know many things in the app if you want to find any products or if you want booking some movie somewhere, so you can do it through a simple app. So the technology is a very important part in digitalization. Second is the data. How is the data is related? Because data is always related when we are doing in an online platform because it is always help the people to get the data through online, whether you are searching in a Google, if you want to compare or your product or your brand or anything. So that becomes a bit easy when you want to compile the data for your brand or your company. You can do the market analysis through that data. So it becomes really easy when you are talking about digitalization in your business tool. So this is how the word digitalization comes to take part in it. So there is a process part also when we automated the process on an online where you can do everything in an online, whether you are securing the documents, whether you are making the process more easier or you are making more the interface more easier for the consumers, because nowadays these things are really matter when you are trying to grow your business in that path through digitalization method. So these things, when it comes, it makes the business tool very easy for you to move into the consumer, because nowadays we have the social media which is on the online platform, which where you can just demonstrate about your brand, about your company, you can talk about your products, you can talk about your company, each and everything you can do it on an online platform, and you can grab the attention of a numerous of consumers, because nowadays every person is an online platform and they are always looking or searching for you can say about a product, or you can say about a booking, or even you can say if they want an article to be read about, they want to know about the knowledge of a particular thing. So these things are in online where it makes easier for the people to come through and make it easier for a business part also. So that is the reason digitalization is more important in a business tool and when it runs on an online platform. It's a really important thing, or you can say it's an active part which it is playing to grow or to make your business smooth in this way. So now we'll comprise of what is the importance of digitalization. So if I talk about what is the importance of digitalization when we go through an online platform, the risk of the errors are very less. The efficiency becomes more important, because when you are giving a service to any of the consumer regarding if it is a tours business or it's a booking of any hotel or anything, or you're booking for any product. So the if accuracy is more important, because every person wants that accuracy in that particular field. If there are errors, if we are using in a traditional method and there are a lot of errors in that part, so it becomes really difficult to run the business. But if you find those less errors in that particular while using the digital method, it becomes really easy to make the business work. So this is how we can go through it. Even we can modernize our business through an online platform. We can try to uh, means risk of losing the records is very less when we are securing those documents in an online platform, because this is a one advantage. If there is any, if we draft something on an online platform and if there are any errors, we can rectify it, and if it is lost we can even fix that also. But when this type of things happen in a traditional method, we can't rectify it, we can't fix it, because if it is gone, we have to create a new document for us. But in an online platform, we get this opportunity that where we can fix it, we can rectify it, and we can keep it secured in our system, and we can use it anywhere we want. So this is the one part of the importance. Second part, I would discuss the retention of the customers. Why it is important to retain the customers in an online platform, because if we don't retain the customers, we can't grow. So we can't grow our business tool as much, because the consumers are really, really important to grow our business. So how do we retain? The next question comes, how do we retain those customers? By solving the complaints, query, issues, whatever it the complaint is facing the issue regarding your brand, regarding your product or anything. We can just try to deal it in some way or the other, so that the customer should be happy with your service, and they should come and do the repeat purchases, and even they do the recommend your channel or recommend your brand or a product to the other people, so that they should come by your website and do the purchases. So this is how This is the second part of digitalization. If you retain those potential or you retain those customers, you can get many more businesses. So that is why it is really important to have a digital tool in your business life where you can make the things happen easier, which makes a lot of things easier to grow your business smooth. So this is how the importance, or you can say the impact of digitalization in your business life, which is really very, very important when you are running on an online platform. So these two things are the main where you count on it. First is the efficiency, second would be the retention of the customers. Because nowadays, every person is looking on an online platform, whether you are searching for a product or anything, because you are on a touch or of a website. You are, if you do it in a traditional method, either you won't get the product or you have to travel from one end to another where you are not that much sure that you'll get that product at that particular time or with that particular price. But in an online platform, it gives that opportunity that you can compare those deals, you can get a different uh, types of products, or you can get a different combination for it. You can search and you can get the results on an online platform. So this is what has the impact when you're doing, if you're putting your products in an online platform, because it doesn't works in a traditional method. So the one third point would be the automation process, which is also very important part in a business tool. When we do this automation part, so it helps to reduce the human errors. When we do the process automated way, it just decreases the risk of errors, where it becomes really easy to make or compile whatever the data you want to make. But if we make it in a traditional way, if we are making the data manually, it has a lot of errors. You can get confused, the data can be messed up, or anything it can happen when we are using traditional tool. But when we are using in a digitalization method, it becomes really easy to improve day by day. You can improve the efficiency day by day. You can improve the interface for the particular brand or a company. So it becomes a bit easier for you to make the things little bit easy for the consumer, that they should not feel like they are just trapped in something. So if the interface is good, the consumer will easily try to get into that website, try to purchase for it. So these things really matter, where efficiency, retention of customer is the important ingredient of the digitalization. And if these two important ingredients are there, you can your business can flourish in any ways. But if you are trying to use in a traditional way, or if you think these two ingredients are in a traditional way, they are actually not. So now we'll discuss about the examples of digitalization. So when we have comprised what is with the scenario, what is digitalization, what is the importance, now we come through what are the examples of digitalization. So I would give you a simple example, like for like a digital signature. When we come through uh, digital forms nowadays, earlier we used to go to a bank. We even if we want to open an account, we go to the bank and fill up the form and do the uh, account opening procedure, and then it takes, like, the processing part would be like 15 to 20 days max. But when we go through a digitalization way, we can fill up the form online, we can do a digital signature, and it can be processed like 2 or 3 days. So you can understand that fast processing is much more have the impact or the importance rather than the 15 or 20 days. So even I would recommend that. That is a very easy process, a fast process. Even if you need a credit card also, we can do it online. We can fetch up the details on an online platform, and that processing will be very fast. But when we see in a traditional way, it really took time whether the person would come or not, whether he'll take up he will process the form or not, or how much time it will take for the processing. These things always come to the consumer's mind when we are talking about a traditional method. But while we are doing in a digitalization way, we can do it everything online. We have an online banking where we can do the transactions, where we can apply for a credit card if we want to do a transfer, or we can do get anything which we want. Even we can purchase it online if we want any product, or we can do a booking for our movie theaters even. So this is how are the examples which collaborate that digitalization had played a very vital role in a business tool. If the digital method is not there, we can't pull up the entire business, or we can't flourish it, because nowadays this is this more convenient way to do it. We can do it in a payment section also. We don't even I don't carry the hard cash, so many people don't carry it. So we can have a wallet section where we can do the online payment for it, and it becomes really easy for it to do, just scanning it and your money is transferred to the vendor. So these things are really, really important when we are talking about a digital method. Even we can scan the photograph and keep it online, where you can, if you are going for any documentation or anything, if the documentation is in your phone, you can just show them and you can get your things done. That is what is called a faster processing. But these things you won't get in a traditional method. The faster processing is the one part which is always the consumer want for from us. So digital method give these advantages, and that helps to grow our business really very well. So we come to the part where we can understand now what are the advantages of digitalization. So if I ask about what are the advantages of the digitalization, that would be a first would be a time saving, which everybody wants. Even I also want that my work to be done in a lesser time. So everybody wants that a time saving, cost saving, secondly. Thirdly, the accuracy, which I talk about, which is a main part or a main ingredient, easy distribution. It's also a part where if you want to give information or something to anybody, and if they are a group of people, or they are 10 to 20 people, you can just email that particular thing, or you can just post it on an Instagram or Facebook, anywhere in a social media, and these things will grab the attention of the consumer. And the other part of that particular coin would be the information you want to share. It has gone to a numerous people. This is the this is the main thing behind of a digitalization part, where you can throw all your information on a social media or in an email, so the person can get through it, and it saves a lot of time through it. Second, all the documents are really secured when you're doing it in online platform, and if it is lost, or it is somewhere, it is just vanish or something, we can just fix it. We can retrieve those documents on an online platform. This is the one part where we can just saving those all the documents on a cloud. Whether you're doing any document, you have a data compilation, everybody having a lot of documents which are kept in online, where it is safe because it is really secured. You can have those documents whenever you require. You can check for it. You can do a numerous thing when you are online. And last would be the increase in profit, which I told about. That is the most important when you're retaining those customers. And if you're retaining those customers, they are coming back for your repeat purchases. That shows it increase your profits for your company, for your brand. So this is how you can do through it. These things are, or these steps are really important when you are running a business on an online platform. These are the main ingredients of a digitalization, where if these are not there, you can't run a business on an online platform. So in a traditional way, it's really very difficult. If these things are not there, you can't run in a traditional way. And if you're doing in a digitalization way, you can flourish your business by these key pointers, which are really important. So now we have learned about with a scenario what is digitalization, what is the impact, and what are the advantages, and plus what are the examples for the digitalization. So now we are concluding with an interesting case study on the basis of the digitalization. So my case study would be referring to a QR code. Everybody knows what is a QR code now. QR code is a cheap, um, one of the most important or a vital part when we are doing it through a QR code. It can be through a payment, it can be through a booking or entering somewhere. It can be used in education, it can be used in restaurants, it can be used anywhere because the QR code is a unique identification number where you don't have to stand in a queue and wait for your services to be done. Because QR code, when you have that QR code, your services can done immediately, instantly, and it becomes really easy for the consumers. Whatever the service they want, they can get through it without standing in a queue. So I'm representing the company UX Living Lab, where we always deal with a QR code, and it's really very easy. When you go to the website, you have to just register with your name and email ID, and your QR code is created. And you can use that QR code, whatever the service you required, whatever the plans you required, whatever the feedback you required, you can do it on a one QR code. That is what I'll be delivering it to you on your comment section. Secondly, I'll be delivering if you want an appointment with us, if you want to talk about how to know about our company, to know about what we are doing, what are the prices for the services. If you want to give a feedback or you want to know something, you can just schedule an appointment where I'll be putting a calendar link for you. Even if you don't want to visit on our website, I can give you the QR code from the App Store where you can just download it and you can go through it and you can get through many things if you don't want to use the website at that point of time, because many people use their phones. Even I use a phone because that is much more convenient. When we are using a phone, we can get through many details. And so this is how the QR code works, and this is how where in every sector of the business, QR code is really important. So what I am doing today, the case study is on a education part. So just a minute. So when we in our education, when we are talking about uh, just a second, uh, just a second, guys. I'll give you one thing where we are dealing with a case study on the education part. Nowadays, when we talk about the education, so the education comes around where we just a second. So when we talk about digitalization of the QR code, so how do we consider in our education, how can the QR code is used in a QR code? So this is the one reason I want to tell you the QR code is really easy when you use it in education, because this can be used from anywhere, from any part. The space you can work if you are not in a particular city, you can use it from another city and you can just scan it and go through it, because it's a very cost effective, and the kids have their own space and they can learn. They don't have to go here and there. They just scan the QR code and they get their results in the particular website where they want to go, or it is redirected to that particular page. So this would be a QR code which when we scan it, when we try to scan it, we'll get a different page uh, this would be a page that comes up for a test for a kid when they are using this QR code when they are sitting online education, because online education has become now very convenient for the kids because they don't have to travel anywhere. And secondly, they can just do it sitting on a laptop. They can give their tests, they can learn their syllabus, they can do their e-learning courses on the platform through one QR code. So when we scan it, this type of a page comes when they are giving a test, so they can easily fill up all this things, whether they require an email ID, their nickname, and whatever the questions they are coming, they can answer it. They can just don't waste their time in getting to a different website, typing it. So QR code helps in such a way that it directs to that particular page where the kids want to go. They don't have to go here and there and search for it. So this is the other important aspect where we take the this QR code. So this is a really easy, very trendy for me. The QR code is really important uh, because nowadays the kid doesn't want to just lose the time in searching the things. So if you scan it, and whether you the kid is going for the syllabus, or he is going for a homework, or even he is giving a test for their particular subject. So if he scanned that particular QR code, he gets this type of a page where it is a direct page where he can just go and start doing his work. And the most important, he doesn't have to type it, and he will not lose time for whatever thing he's doing, whether he's doing a homework or giving a test on a particular subject. So this is how the QR code plays a very important role in a digitalization, because it's a really, really important. QR code is very important where to run a business, to run in an education, even if you go to a restaurant, the QR code always plays a vital role in it. So in education, it's a really important when we go through it. So I think this should be a most interesting when we are talking about this part of QR and education. You can try it if you want. I can also give you this QR code. If you scan it through your mobile phone, you will get this page, and that is really convenient. I'm talking about this is a simple thing, but when you go through an online education, when your kid is learning something, if he or she uses a QR code, he or she will be direct to the page where they want to go, whether he's giving a test or doing a homework for their subjects. So I think this is a really important tool for the business even. I have talked about the education, but if we go through a business part, it's really, really important. So this is the case study which can be applied if you people are in an education field, and this would be really convenient for you if you're doing an online education portal, and you can create a QR code so that the kid can get to the direct page instead of typing a URL for your portal. So I would recommend, or I would suggest, this is the newest or a good way to get through or get your business grow if you are in an educational field. The same thing goes when you're talking about our company. We are also working. Uh, would suggest my company do a market research where uh, we can talk about your brand. We can help you to improve your business. Secondly, we can have the insight of the consumers where we can understand where your brand or your product is lacking. We can do the reports for you. We can do the strategy, try to innovate new things for your brand and company. We will always try to help because for us, the consumers are really important. And foremost, we are having the event in Barcelona itself where we have a booth over there, and we can. Um, I can give you the booth number also in that particular link, and we will helping you to get whatever the queries you have. You can connect with us if you want any further information. You can ping me on a comment section so that we can try to help you with your queries, with your complaints, anything. And if you want to update any feedback, you just have to go through the website or through the QR code, and you can update whatever feedback you want or the information or you want to know about anything. So this is how the QR code in an educational field also, and in other areas also. That is why I've said QR code are really important in every sector of a business, whether you are working on a hotel industry or you're working on education or you're working on an internet base or anything. These are really important, and it only helps you to grow the business. So I would recommend that you should use this in your education portal, creating the QR code for the kids, and try to get more of it because the kids would love it, and they will not feel bored. They will feel a little bit exciting when they are getting to that particular page and getting their things done. So please try to create this, try to get a new way of education, online education, where it is really helpful for both teachers and the students. So this is our session today on a digitalization with the case study on the education using the QR codes. So, thank you for joining us the session. Please do comment and like the video.